Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
Of course you don't. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, folks. All right. It's V, the Grill Economist, coming to you live on another edition of Rogue Coin, where we have no one else with us but the two madmen of mayhem, the quants from California themselves, Crypto Z and Crypto Cowboy. What's up, gentlemen? What's going on?
What's up, V? How's it going, man?
Doing good, man. Little break from Corky Buchek, our usual bing bong bing theme song. Switch it up with a classic from the 80s, bro. Hell yeah. A little Airwolf action.
Airwolf, dude. Z's like, what's that? Of course he is.
He's like, is that Voltron?
What's Voltron?
What's Voltron?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Power Rangers?
What's Power Rangers? No.
Oh, Z, dude, at that point, it's just like, get out.
I know what Power Rangers was. I grew up in the age of Power Rangers, Transformers, and like Ninja Turtles.
Well, you grew up on a Transformers second wave, because the actual Transformers is actually around the same time as Airwolf.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you grew up on the new with the computer effects, and it wasn't really there.
I don't know. Our Transformers were not so computer effects, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like it was the animation. If I'm thinking about the correct one, the animation was a little bit inorganic. But hey, what can I say?
It's all good, brothers. It's all good. Anyway, folks, check it out. These guys, you can find them over at thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io, where two things, folks, two things can happen at the Crypto School. Number one, you're a newbie. You don't know jack squat about cryptos. You need to get a crash course. You need to have an education on how it all works. You need to figure out what are the best wallets, how to do these exchanges, all the stuff out there, all the terminology and the lingo. The Crypto School has it. For a one-time payment, you can get a one-time payment for a lifetime of membership at the Crypto School. They have their video education series. It's a litany of videos that you can go through. I think there's over 20 videos there right now. And more are being added. So it's friggin' awesome. It's a treat. We've had hundreds of people that have benefited greatly from the Crypto School video education series. And let's just say you're somebody who already knows all that, or you've been through that, or you're more of a seasoned veteran when it comes to cryptos. You're ready to trade. You're ready to make some money. You want to know how the big boys play. Well, you got two of the best guys in the business, Z and Cowboy. We're literally people every single day are not only paying for their year's worth of membership in 1 or 2 days. There are people that are literally have quit their day jobs and all they're doing is trading crypto with Z and Cowboy. That is truth. The links are in the description box as well as the results room where you can see all the results. You can go there. There's a Telegram link right there on the description box, and you click it, you'll see all the results. With that out of the way, gentlemen, what's going on? How are you guys?
Oh, dude, we're good. Z has been just digging deep, and we have a lot to talk about on specifically Venn today.
Yeah,
and Venn's actually at a really, really decent point to buy in.
Yeah.
In fact, we're gonna talk about Bitcoin. We're gonna do all that, but I did want to take a quick look at the Venn chart. This is what we're looking at right now. So we called Venn. I'd have to look back in the call, but somewhere around this kind of higher 40s area. It might have even been back here before the big rise. And so, there was a consolidation. I called it. I think I actually called it right here about the lower 50s.
Yeah, we actually originally called Ven at 36 sats.
Well, we're talking, way back when Z actually like called it from an FA standpoint, we called it at half the price that it is right now, or at least that it's gone to. So roughly half the price. But I mean, recently, as a recent call, I actually called it right here as for people who want to say like a midterm gain. It's been doing great, went into the sell zone, about to dump back out. And that's really good because we feel that if it dumps back down, it's going to jump back up. So right now it's at a decent point for a buy-in. Let me jump to a different chart. So essentially, a few minutes ago, I called it. I thought it was going to bounce off, go out, actually, and it did not. It actually came down to this support, and it's on a steady fall. It's had a lot of attention because of the consensus meetings. He's going to talk all about that. So I guess if I were to redraw a buy zone, which I already bought in some kind of at this this level right here where the mouse is, roughly the 57, 56, I bought in there, but you could buy in this area where I just set up this box. And Z is going to tell us a lot about why we're interested in looking at Ven. Why would you buy something that's falling? Well, for one thing, we feel that it's strong. So I wait until things are cheap and then I buy them. I don't buy them up here, even though I know it's going to be good later. I wait till a nice dip, which is occurring as we speak. I called it out yesterday. I told everybody I think it's going to fall down to, I said below 55, which it's, and then this, I said that yesterday and then it like kind of went up. I'm like, wow, the FA is strong, but then it went back down. So what I said was going to happen in the short term appears to be happening. Before we have Z talk about that, just a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing what we've seen it do on a number of occasions, and it's traveling up what I believe to be an artificially created channel. Let me do this. Let me see if I can get up. I already have a chart ready for that. So Bitcoin is, in my opinion, it moves very inorganically. I think it's pretty accepted that it's manipulated nowadays. So, what I think they want to do is I think they want to make it look like it's Elliott waving. And in a sense, it is. I don't think they're completely controlling everything. I think they're just nudging it where they want it to go. So you get these weird channels and that we lovingly call the Bart Simpson heads, which was upside down. And so it tends to kind of go back and forth, up hard, down hard, but it tends to maintain a channel. And my own theory, and I know it's kind of tinfoil hat, is that from a distance, when you have like the 99% of the public that are watching the Bitcoin chart on Bloomberg from like the daily chart standpoint, it looks like a normal chart. But when you zoom in, you can see this kind of stuff. And then 99% of the people who actually zoom in to see this kind of stuff don't know what they're looking at. And what I think we're looking at, and because what I do is I sit and I watch like the book. I watch the actual order book. I'm like one of those kids that stares at the washing machine for no reason while it spins. Like I just look at the order book and watch it for like hours. My fiance is worried about me. But what I notice is I see a lot of the kind of what looks to me to be jiggery going on, where they're just kind of putting stuff together, making it happen the way they want. So I think they're nudging it, and they're going to nudge it up this channel. And I think once we hit this 9,200 to 9,300 resistance zone, it'll probably be after the consensus rally is done. I call it a rally. I don't know what the right word for that is. But now on the long, what we can expect, and I'm going to actually kind of translate what we just saw on that short chart. I'm going to translate that over to a long chart that I have ready to go. And these are charts that I've been building over days. So there's a little bit of noise. But this is wow, there's a lot of noise. So basically, I have illustrated here the Elliott wave that it seems to be following, whether that is artificial or not. It does fit. It actually fits the metrics pretty well. And it looks like we just finished a C correction. And we're kind of going up this chart here, this channel. Well, this channel where my mouse is right now, that little upward is this right here on this shorter chart that I just switched to. So essentially, if we continue to go up to that, then that means on this longer chart that I just switched back to, we would continue up this direction. And certainly, I don't think is going to go any higher than 9,250. But we could have a few days or even a week of that direction before we actually see a fall to what I believe will be the low sevens. So that's Bitcoin. Z, do you see anything different, or
No, I see exactly what you're seeing right now. I'm currently looking at myself, and I agree. I actually think that the overall sentiment for Bitcoin is going to rise here, just because I'm looking at previous data for I guess previous data on the consensus convention. So if you actually look at the previous data, I posted something about it inside the Watchers Trade Room a while ago. A long story short, essentially every single time there's a consensus, essentially a conference by CoinDesk, it has risen up by a nice percentage.
Actually, that
Typically,
was. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
no. I was gonna say, so for Bitcoin, in 2015, 2 months after consensus, essentially building up, Bitcoin rose up 121%. In 2016, Bitcoin rose up 78%. In 2017, Bitcoin rose up 138%. Same thing happened with alts. Alts in general rose up 56% in 2015, 78% in 2016, and 552% in 2017. So if you look at the previous history right now, the whole crypto space should be going up based on past history. Now, of course, this is speculation. It's just really just my opinion on it. But hopefully, history repeats itself.
Yeah, actually, that was a really cool thing that Z posted because it gave us actual metrics. And those are the kind of things that are really good, whether you're doing charting, whether you're doing anything else. You really have to take a look at what happened in the past based on similar events. So that was pretty slick. So how that can play out from a charting standpoint is, the overall sentiment on Bitcoin. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here on this long chart that we were just looking at. And I'm going to... It's great that we're looking at a 4-hour chart on this. So if you look at the indicators down here, you have RSI bottomed out and is headed upwards. That's a bullish move. Anytime you see that, you see some bullishness in the charts most of the time, unless you have a divergence, and that's a whole nother conversation. Now, your stochastic RSI looks excellent right now. It's headed up, and it's actually passing that 50% mark in the oscillator. So when you have that, you have now officially moved into bullish territory. Now that can take a turn anytime. So, we know that it's bullish at the moment, right? And that's the thing about this game. Everything is at the moment. It's all subject to change very quickly. So as we zoom out, it's a lot of noise on this. I'm going to eliminate a lot of this stuff here. As we zoom out, what we're looking at is Z feels that, and I agree, that the sentiment's going to rise up. However, I also feel that the big boys are going to range bind. I know I've been talking about this for a long time. I think the big boys want to range bind below 10,000. Now, I've been drawing this triangle with slight modifications for several months. Look back on our shows, this triangle, which is representing Bitcoin, this whole chart's like a 6-month representation of Bitcoin, at least. And this triangle has been what the binding is. Now, to look at that from a TA standpoint, that's a consolidation. And from a TA standpoint, when it breaks out, it should break upwards. That's how it should break. We're talking about the general sentiment for Bitcoin over the last 4 years, maybe. I mean, that's the length of this chart would incorporate a positive sentiment for Bitcoin. Now, from say here in December to here, you would see a negative sentiment because even though this is a longer chart, you're looking at a downward drop. You're looking at Bitcoin is kind of selling. But if you look at this purplish downtrend line that I drew, and you can see that Bitcoin has hit a reversal pattern, the lows are getting higher, and then it crossed the trend line. This is when the sentiment begins to change. And I say begins to change because you're talking about several months of sentiment. It doesn't just turn around right away, not usually. So if in fact Z is correct and consensus does have enough push and the overall sentiment of Bitcoin on the midterm has sort of changed from bearish to bullish, that we might actually see a pop-up out of this. But there's a really good chance that it'll be slammed back down when it hits 10,000, especially if you listen to people in the banking industry. That's just how a lot of tradable assets are controlled. So we'll see what happens. We got, let me see, we got Litecoin.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look at Litecoin.
What do you see here, Z? I just brought the chart up.
Just for Litecoin right now, guys, we've been indicating.
Before you go in there, Z, hold on. Before you give your analysis on Litecoin, I want to know if Cowboy, if is Billy Bob still in your backyard? Could you check?
You know what? Let me go. Let me go.
Because I want to have a reading right now from Billy Bob before Z breaks down Litecoin for us. Hold on 1 second, Z.
Wait, I gotta.
Go get him.
I think he might be sleeping under the leaves here. Hold on a minute. Let me move some leaves out of the way. Billy Bob. No, I'm sleeping. Let me alone. No, Billy Bob. We need your help on this. We're looking at Litecoin. What the hell? Don't tell you. The Bitcoin ain't over $11,475. I ain't telling you shit. No, Billy Bob. It's okay.
Tell him it's not Bitcoin. We need Litecoin.
We need Litecoin. Bitcoin, Litecoin. It's all the goddamn same when you're dealing with frogs and chicken bones. Billy Bob, I will feed you a sandwich if you tell. All right.
Tell him you'll take him to Popeyes.
Did I just hear somebody say Popeyes?
Yeah, Popeyes.
Wait, V, hold on. Let me turn the volume so you can talk directly to Billy Bob there. Okay, Billy Bob, we got somebody who wants to talk to you, man.
Billy Bob, here's the deal. We need a Litecoin reading right now. We need you to remote view it using your psychic powers, okay? You do that, I'll make sure Cowboy takes you to either Popeyes or KFC, your choice, for a bucket of chicken.
How many pieces in that bucket?
Your choice, 8 or 12.
8, but they all got to be legs.
All of them are legs.
Oh my goodness, you know what that means?
What does it mean?
That just tell me that gave me enough information to my remote viewing. Now, because we know what the next leg of Litecoin is going to be. Yes. When I have chicken legs, I can read graph legs. How you like that shit?
I like it.
So Litecoin is going to turn around and it's going to go up, but it's waiting for Bitcoin. Right now, what we're waiting on is the 5th full moon underneath the diamond specter sky. And once we do that, I take out my crystals, I put them in the moonlight, and then I dip them in the hog pit where all the hogs roll around in their own stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all know?
Yeah.
Y'all know? Now, once I do that, I throw it up against the wall, and whatever the splatters are, that's what the leg's going to be.
So, Billy Bob, I don't need to know how the sausage is made. I just need a number. What do you think? Is it going to be? I mean, there's some other psychics out there that are saying Litecoin's going to be $5,000, $10,000, $11,000. What's your take?
Gonna be 5 million pesos. Screw off. I want to sleep.
Pesos.
Leave me alone. I want to sleep.
All right. Good night.
Come back when you goddamn Popeyes. We'll talk.
All right, cool. Z, go ahead, man. Billy Bob says 5 million pesos. Go for it.
All right. So here at Rogue Money, we actually use fundamentals and actual legitimate statistics to,
God forbid,
determine financial values on coins and just assets in general, guys. We don't use chicken bones and woo woo. There's a time and place for woo woo, and it's
y'all don't use pig shit.
Nope. And it's not you don't use woo woo for your money, guys. Just simple as that. I mean, you can, but I just I'm not gonna
tell y'all time again, y'all don't respect the goddamn woo woo.
We do not expect the goddamn woo woo. So just to let you guys know, I indicated inside the room, guys, that Litecoin was not looking good. We indicated that Litecoin was not looking good roughly at 159. And we indicated everybody to sort of, we indicated that Cowboy and I were getting out of LTC Litecoin at 159. Litecoin dropped all the way down to 132. It's been sort of having a mini reversal. However, it just dumped once again outside the cloud. So it is bearish. We did indicate inside the room a few levels of support, one being at 127 and the next one being at 116. These are hard supports for Litecoin. And if they break out, Litecoin will plummet. Now, the problem right now Litecoin is having is that there is no fundamental catalyst that is going to be causing Litecoin to rise. So essentially what Litecoin is happening right now is that Litecoin is essentially playing on Big Brother's shoulders. So which is Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin rises up, Litecoin rises up with it. Litecoin right now is not creating its own trajectory. And that is the issue with Litecoin. That's never a good thing to have with any coin. We always want a coin that has strong fundamentals, has strong catalysts coming up that is going to cause the coin to rise up. on its own, that's going to be able to outpace and beat Bitcoin. That's essentially what we want to do, right? We don't want to just go with Bitcoin. We want to beat Bitcoin. We want to beat those gains so that, we can stack as much Bitcoin as possible for when Bitcoin is higher levels. That's essentially what we do. So yeah, so Litecoin does not look pretty right now, guys, and I really think that Litecoin is going to continue to drop unless Bitcoin does a big rally. And if Bitcoin drops, Litecoin is going to go down right with it.
Oh yeah. It's Z said something there that I think needs to be reiterated. So we're not in this game to match Bitcoin gains. If you want to be in that game, buy Bitcoin, hold it, be a hodler. There's a lot of hodlers out there. And yeah, sure, you might make money doing that. That's not what we do. We are into taking a bigger amount of control of our financial future. So if there is no reason for Litecoin, in my opinion, because the Lightning Network is going to make Bitcoin and Litecoin on the same playing field, basically, right? So you're going to have sped up transactions, microtransactions, things like that, all handled by the Lightning Network. And it's going to be like, if Bitcoin is fully used on Lightning Network, it'll be faster than Litecoin ever could be on its own. So Litecoin is irrelevant, if you ask me. Now, I know that there are some things in the background on Litecoin. They're talking about creating sort of a mainnet. Z, is there something about that?
Correct. So there's been talks about Litecoin potentially, creating own mainnet and being a dApp and so forth. Guys, you have to realize something, that one, Litecoin came out originally as a form of payment. That's essentially what it was. It was looking to be the microtransaction king in the whole crypto world. They wanted everybody to essentially use debit cards that use cryptos, and Litecoin was going to be the premier thing to transact. And with other coins coming out, and with other coins having quick transaction speeds, like for example EOS or XRP or as much as we don't like XRP, but XRP, that takes away from Litecoin. Every single coin out there with a faster transaction speed as Litecoin that can be used as a form of currency like Ven will take away from Litecoin. It's simple as that. So so that's the issue that right now that Litecoin's having. It's just like, where does Litecoin go? Where does Litecoin essentially fit in this space? Right now, Litecoin has come to this sort of grounds. It's been able to reach the top sort of echelon of cryptocurrencies because it had first movers advantage. But as you guys can see, over the course of the last year, just the last year alone, Litecoin at one point was number 3 on the list of cryptocurrencies. Now, what is it on the overall list in terms of market cap? Litecoin now is number 6, and it's consistently dropping down. ADA is chewing at it at its heels. ADA might pass it, and then it could go up from there. And that's the problem right now with Litecoin. Litecoin is losing its overall sentiment analysis, and it's losing its overall bullishness.
Yep. So I'm totally with Z on that. Although, actually, Z started pointing that out months ago, and I was like, nah, it's going to be great. And then, like, as time went on, I was like, nope, Z's right.
Yeah, we I've been saying this, guys, since Litecoin was $200, $230. I was like, what are we exactly buying this for? Like, that's how I like to look at all of my coins. That's how I like to approach the market. You look at, why are we buying this coin? What are the competitors like? Are the competitors cheaper? Like, are people actually going to be using Litecoin? And the overall sentiment has been sort of more and more negative towards Litecoin. Of course, there's some big hodlers out there that love Litecoin and are still praying that Litecoin is going to do Bitcoin rises, and that Litecoin will essentially be, what, a quarter or 20% of what Bitcoin is worth. I mean, could it be? Maybe, but why am I going to speculate on that when there's so much money to be made in this space with so many other coins out there? I'm personally not going to wait for it.
No, so Z, Z and I are traders, right? So what we look for is, where can we make money today? And basically, Litecoin, hey, I'll tell you, not the worst bet. There's rumors out there that Litecoin's kind of been taken over by some of the, bigger banks, and maybe they got plans for it. Maybe it pays off. CliffHigh has a Litecoin surprise this month. Although this month is halfway over, I've not seen that surprise yet. And of course, Cliff's data is not always, it doesn't always happen when he says it's going to happen. And he's right about half the time, according to his own admission. So, the Litecoin thing may or may not go. I know that Venn, and we're going to talk about Venn right now, right after we look at an Ethereum chart. And I won't spend too much time on it because Z has a ton of information. We got Consensus going on in New York, which is a get together for a lot of cryptos, and Venn is all over the place. So before Z talks about that, I just did a quick chart of Litecoin. I mean, I'm not even going to waste time talking about it. Just look at Bitcoin's chart. You probably see Litecoin's chart. Just pretty much what it is. No offense, Litecoin lovers, but right now, until I see something new, I'm just not really that interested in Litecoin. I have not enough time to think about it because I'm thinking about things like Venn. Now with Ethereum, we have, I actually drew this days ago. This channel has been drawn for at least 2 days and it continues up that channel. You can see that it's supported by the cloud. This is on the 4-hour chart. So you're looking at all the way back to April. And we've seen a nice long run. Although one thing that needs to be considered, I'm going to back out to the daily chart. I looked actually some time ago, and Ethereum's in a giant consolidation. So let me expand this, full screen it. And the graph has some noise on it. You'll have to forgive the noise. But here is your consolidation right here. So much like my longer Bitcoin chart, we do have a consolidation. And whether it's being controlled or not, it does seem like the people who are running the game want it to look somewhat organic. So, right, my program has stopped responding. Just excellent when that happens in the middle of a show. See if I can go on to another window here. Let's download Ethereum. Sorry for the technical difficulty here. Never happens when I'm not doing a show. So out to the daily, full screen ahead, get rid of some noise. Okay. And we are where we just were. And I'm going to shorten this up. So if in fact we are going to follow a consolidation pattern, we can expect a break in either direction. Now, knowing the overall sentiment over a number of years, this is our little channel that we've been going up right here, the one that we just saw a few minutes ago. Now, the path I see it taking is we might needle up above this top of this chart. If we do, you might see a high around 0.1 Bitcoin. That might be like the psychological 2 BTC. And we are looking at BTC values. We're not looking at the US dollar. Now, if that happens, we may see a drop down as low as this. If in fact our consolidation is on a shorter term and the trend line, the ascending trend line actually goes more like this, and it could, then if that's the case, if our blue trend line ends up being our true consolidation for this group of legs, we may only go as low as right here and then bounce back up. And we're going to keep an eye on all these things. We'll update. However, I would say under any circumstance, this descending trend line indicates that we would have around 0.1 Bitcoin or so, maybe 0.9. We may have a rejection. And with everything going on with Ethereum, unless Casper comes out and some big miracles happen, then I expect it to just follow those kind of TAs. Z, do you see anything different before we talk about Venn?
No, Ethereum is exactly how you see it. Ethereum had that sort of that Casper update, which we inside the room, we actually I made it very known to everybody that Ethereum actually looked great. This is a prime example, guys, of finding a coin that is not just following Bitcoin's sort of run. It has its sort of own trajectory, and Ethereum was able to do that the last couple of days. I personally hedged into Ethereum roughly at 76 or 78, and it ran all the way up to 84. So it's a nice little gain there, and my profits were safe. Now, Aaron inside the YouTube live chat made a very good point, guys. A lot of hodlers of coins, what they'll do is that they'll buy in very early, just like I do with Juan, right? A lot of hodlers will buy into, for example, Litecoin very early at like $4. and then they'll say, hey, HODL Litecoin, it's going to be the next thing, because they don't have to worry about it being bearish, because no matter what, they're up a ton of money, guys. So just understand that a lot of people hodling Litecoin are true believers on Litecoin because they got in so early, so at the start, that right now they're so far ahead, they don't have to worry about, everyday transactions. That's what I'm trying to get to, like, with everybody. And it's unfortunate that way, that a lot of people, believe these guys, and they'll buy Litecoin, and they'll just hold Litecoin at like $300 and watch it just completely bleed down. I've had people like literally buy Litecoin $250 plus right now with thousands and thousands of dollars that have just completely bled their profits away, or actually completely bled their portfolios away. So, that's what we're trying to get rid of.
Yeah, and that's so valuable, what Z just said right there. So you got some guys that, sometimes they talk about chicken bones, those kind of guys. And what they did was they got into Litecoin, like Z said, I don't know, $20 or something. And it was so long ago that their cost basis is so low that they don't have their own motivation for selling high and buying low. So basically they're big Litecoin believers because they made a bunch of money. And their time, they are now dinosaurs, right? They bought it a long time ago. They haven't paid attention to anything new about Litecoin. They just, listen to predictions that are made by some people who are pretty credible, and they don't think about the market at all. They just say, Litecoin's going to go, Litecoin's going to go. Hey, you know what? That's cool. If you want to roll that. However, just by looking at the charts, there are better opportunities. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. PPT, guys, is a prime example. Populist token is a prime example of people who got in very early, who stuck with it and just shilled it, and there you go, right? And didn't bother setting the correct stop losses. It went all the way up to like $70, and then went right back down.
Mm-hmm.
So. Anyway, so I just want to talk to you guys about a few things right now, in regards to Venn, guys. So I've been kind of keeping this on a secret, but we wanted to sort of let the Rogue Money listeners kind of know. Right now, we have a very special project going on right now, in the Watchers Trade Room. This is exclusively to the Watchers Trade Room, guys. You won't get this anywhere else. It's just simple as that. What we're offering is that we're offering the chance to be a part of a Venn X node. Now, for those of you who don't know, Venn itself is a masternode coin. You can pull together for a masternode. What it does is that it gives you a payout in what they call Thor, which is essentially a dividend from Venn. Every month you'll get a payout. I don't know how frequent the payouts are, but every month essentially you'll get a payout. Now that payout is based on a formula. Now Venn offered this special program for early investors called the X Node program. You had to lock up your Venn by a certain date. The date was sometime in March, like end of March, and I did it personally. This is before I really knew of Rogue Money and so forth. What we are offering right now, guys, is a chance to get involved inside of this X Node program, in which you will get, not only will you get the highest tier master node, which is a millionaire node available on the market, but at the same time you will get the X Node benefits, which are, double, if not triple, the percentages of what you would have gone out in payouts from a normal node. This is part of the X Node program, and this will be exclusively given to the Watchers Trade Room, guys. So if you guys want to be inside of this program, you guys have to be inside the Watchers Trade Room. This is completely a free like sort of Easter egg or free whatever gift you want to call it, to the Watchers Trade Room, guys. This is not something that comes standard with the Watchers Trade Room at all. This is just something that I happen to be a part of, that I am now extending out to you guys, just out of just friendliness. And yeah, it's just that simple.
Yeah. Oh, there's, so it's really hard for people who are not in the space to understand what's being offered. And you have to be, part of our group to qualify for it. But what I can tell you is that, it's very, very feasible that for a relatively small investment, you can make like more money on a monthly from the way that the masternode pays out. Just quit your job based on that. Given that Venn And to remind everybody, okay, Venn essentially, we believe, has the backing of the Chinese government. I don't know. I mean, has China just come out and said it, Z? Have they just come out and said it?
Yeah, so there's a report. There's some documents that were leaked out apparently, and they're from very credible resources. And the thing about Venn is that so far Venn has been completely 100% legitimate with all of their announcements. Now, this report that was leaked out, Sunny, which is the CEO of Venn, was asked about the report, and he did not fully say yes or no, but he did not shoo it away. Like every single other fake sort of I guess rumor, he's been very good with it. He's been like slamming it down, saying no, 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 this is not Venn, this is not Venn, this is not Venn. He did not shy away from this. He did not shoot it down at all. So
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of they are legally bound to not give certain information in these kind of scenarios. So if he's not saying no, I mean that's probably a decent chance that he's kind of saying yes.
yeah, because he's under NDA, of course, guys, and also, and back to Venn, guys, just understand that right now the consensus conference is happening right now in New York. Consensus conference is one of the largest conferences in the world for cryptocurrencies. It's a big deal, as we can see. The prices have sort of been fluctuating throughout the alt markets like crazily, and you had that data that I announced earlier in regards to the overall crypto space sort of rising up in value after consensus. Now, Venn is playing a very big role in consensus this year. Not only is it on the back cover of the entire pamphlet, there's a huge like picture of Venn, but they're about to announce a sort of an announcement today. The announcement today is on Coin. What's it called?
Not CoinDesk.
No, I just had it. I just posted it earlier today. It is on circle.com. So circle.com today, guys, at I believe 5 p.m. Eastern time, so it should be in about 1 hour, is going to make an announcement today. Now, circle.com is a pretty big deal. Circle.com is very similar to Coinbase. They have a very, very massive investors inside of it, Jim Breyer being one of them. Now, some of you know that Jim Breyer is also the newest advisor to Venn, which is a very, very big deal. You guys should look up who Jim Breyer is. He's the first institutional investor into companies like Facebook. So he's a very, very big figure in the traditional financial world. And now he's shifting over to cryptocurrencies. This is where the rumor is right now. This is kind of speculative, but very interesting. So circle.com, if you go on circle.com right now, if you actually go on the website, you can actually see that they have an animation. And the animation that loads up is the same color as Venn's logo.
Is it Circle it's circle.com, right?
Circle.com.
I just brought it up on the screen.
Yeah, so if you actually look at the colors of the actual logo, it is similar to Venn's colors. This is where the rumor is coming up. You see that circle?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see on the screen right there, that circle right there?
Yep.
It's like sort of bluish and purplish and whatnot. That circle right there apparently is the same exact sort of colors as Venn. Now, in Venn's pamphlet today, for consensus.com, for consensus, the convention, their colors are the same exact colors as circle.com's emblem. So that circle that's right next to circle.com at the top, with that like green and yellow, it's the same exact emblem as that, in a sense, the color scheme. So the rumor is that circle.com is essentially going to be partnering with Venn, which will allow for a major fiat gateway into cryptocurrencies under Venn's protocol. So we'll see.
Very interesting. So basically, and also there are some other inside rumors that there are going to be announcements coming out and all that's related to this. So I put a bunch of money into Venn. I looked for the dip that, if we take a quick look at the charts, last night was up here. I'm like, hey, I think it's going to dip. And sure enough, after some of the things I saw said it was going to dip, it went. I had buy targets in like the 50, all the way from 55 to like 57. But the initial call that I made, I think, was like just below 55,000. And it did strike 56,000. It needled into this area. So, it's bouncing off the bottom of the cloud on a wider chart. The reason I had thought 55 was because I drew a trend line. And this week, so far, my predictions on Venn have been a little bit low, meaning that I think that I'm underestimating the power of the coin. And only, a lot of it's because of all the hype that's going on. So it might be that right now we're possibly in like a really good time to buy Venn. In fact, I personally put more than half my portfolio in Venn at current levels. So, that's just a clue there. If I'm going to do it, I eat my own cooking. And sometimes I'm not right. Sometimes I make mistakes, but over time with Venn, I'm not that concerned.
No, Venn has proven time and time again that it's been very strong, guys. We've got in our initial call on Venn. When I first talked about Venn was, somewhere in the 36K Satoshi. So it's nearly done 100% since we called it, guys. Venn's got a lot of very interesting things coming up. It's got the mainnet coming up, guys. It has a very, very interesting, ICO being built on it called BitOcean. And I'm going to try my best to open BitOcean up to the Watchers Trade Room. So all these little perks that come with Venn will be also given out to the Watchers Trade Room, guys. So that those are just sort of further perks given out. And these are things that aren't necessarily part of the room. It's just things that are coming along that we like to give out. And so check out BitOcean, guys. That's going to be Venn's, I believe, Venn's first ICO. And it is a Bitcoin ATM machine. It's a two-way Bitcoin ATM machine, so you can buy, you can sell through it, and it will be launching mainstream in China. So, very, very interesting, guys. They're looking to launch out, I believe, like close to like 100,000 ATMs all over China. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't bet against China, dude. I don't bet against China when it comes to
don't bet
things.
against China. Yeah, you're talking about a population that is very tech savvy. You're talking about a population. I mean, over in China, in certain, I don't know the name of the area, but you could design like a cell phone, and they will have it made for you the next day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Shenzhen.
Shenzhen. That's a province, right?
Absolutely.
God, my geography is terrible. Actually, it's not. But yeah, tell us. I mean, clue us in, V, on where China is as far as like technological innovation and things like that.
They're on the bleeding edge of tech, man. I mean, you're talking about the top 5 fastest supercomputers in the world are located in China. So that tells you a great deal of everything. So it's pretty remarkable where they are in comparison to everything, So it really is, man, the bleeding edge technology.
Yeah, so if China is on the bleeding edge,
guys, I have to. Sorry to do this, man. I just got an alert come by my desk. There's actually a tornado warning not too far from my house, dude. Crazy shit.
Jeez.
I could have told you about that when y'all asked me.
I know.
So
yep. I just got a tornado warning. It's supposedly heading this way. I have to end this broadcast.
All right. Okay. Well, dude, let us know that you're okay, man.
Definitely. All right, gentlemen. Take care.
All right.
Later.
See
Sorry
ya.
about that, folks. Enjoy your day.
See ya.